What is going on, everybody? We're back on it. My Hero Season 7, Episode 20. I'm pretty sure after this episode we have one left, and that'll be it for Season 7. I don't think we're doing our typical 24, 25, or however they do it. I'm not sure the reasoning or why they're cutting it 3 to 5 episodes short. Y'all probably know the answer to that. Regardless, we got 2 episodes left. We finally had the end of something that's been, what, since... Was the tournament arc in the very beginning? That was season 1, right? Or no, that was... I can't remember if the USJ incident or the tournament happened for... I don't know. Regardless, this has been one of the running storylines. Honestly, I feel like the storyline itself could have been made into its own separate anime or manga. It's been that twists and turns and emotions and that crazy, but the whole Todoroki, the Endeavor, the Toya, the Shoto, the mom, the other siblings, that has been an entire just cultivated storyline that honestly, up until recently, has felt more in depth and more of kind of like a main storyline than the whole Vestiges all for one for all, at least in my opinion. And honestly, I feel like I don't know if other people feel that way as well. I kind of prefer the whole Todoroki family storyline with Dabi and all, as compared to how the, I guess, all for one for all, Vestiges, everything destined to be has gone, that storyline. But the fact that we've gotten them both in the same anime is pretty crazy. But that looks to be completely wrapped up. I'm pretty sure Toya's dead. You guys let me know that his body was able to, like, it's kind of tough because we see like quirks and bodies kind of like, we've seen them just like kind of get ramped up when pushed to like we've seen what the kids have been able to do with their quirks with Todoroki and Bakugo and some of the others. So, you know, he accesses the ice. Now, was the ice always within him? Or did he push himself to a new level and it manifested out of like need and necessity to cool him down? I guess both. The answer would be the ice was always in him if he was going to be able to pull it out. Now, I'm not sure if, you know, say they didn't go down the tragic storyline and everything. Would there be anything in his life that he could go through training wise with Endeavor that could have brought that ice out? I feel like I've seen like conflicting things of like, the only reason he was able to access this is because he was about to die and his body was going into like extreme fight or flight and just like doing whatever it could, but like it was at death's door type thing that his body was able to do it. And he would never be able to get to that level in his life and not die as a consequence to access the ice. And I've seen other people say, well, he always had the ice within him. If he was just able to train to extreme levels and go with Endeavor and just continue at it, that he might have been able to access the ice within him. So I don't know. I've seen conflicting reports. Regardless, I'm like 99% sure he's dead. And we closed the chapter on that whole Todoroki storyline. So the only thing we have going is, you know, the main climax here. All for one for all, Deku, Shigaraki. Now we have this other fight here. I mean, we got Toga. Toga. What does All Might plan to do? I'm assuming he's got some like Hulkbuster Iron Man suit. What's the play though? Because if we just if he just gets EMP'd, is he just not like stuck in a metal trash can? Like, how do you? I don't know. I don't know what tech they've come up with, how they plan to combat it. Any quirks that All for One may have that he could bust out. Well, we'll see what we get. Let's just go ahead and get into it. Like, I'm curious if we're to be expecting an epic fight showdown, one more. Oh my god. Jesus! Like, should we be expecting one more All Might, one for all for one level fight? Or it's not that serious? Like, All Might's not. Like, it looks cool, but it's like, Don't get your hopes up. Well, honestly, now that we've gotten rid of Dobby, can we not bring our forces over here? A quick endeavor. If we get a quick just flame burst over here, we could really get rid of some of this. Has a time limit depending on the amount of blood taken. Yep. Yeah, they don't know how much of Twice's blood she has. Shit. The only good thing is that this won't be able to last forever. They should all eventually just like poof like Naruto clones at one point, or no? I don't know. But this can't keep up forever. I guess it's too much to ask of Endeavor and Todoroki to come over here right now and like burn her at the source. Found the real one. Are we about to friendship talk her out of this, or what? So wild that she's actually able to pinpoint her out of all that. Mm-hmm. Nope. She can't become the one she loves. Actually, it's pretty busted, though. Very busted. Oh, shit. I guess I am a little bit curious. Like, how does this Toga story... Oh, fuck. How does this Toga storyline end? Like, what's the play here? Just gonna be a her and a Uraraka thing? That, like, has to talk her out of it and get her to mentally falter? Or, like, is someone gonna have to come over here and, like, put her ass down? I need you to grab that with your tongue. Eh? Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Here comes a tragic flashback. I mean, at least she looked like she had caring parents that were at least, like, concerned. Took her somewhere to at least get it examined or looked at. I mean, yeah, they're drilling this normal into her head, but I mean, they could have just abandoned her. Where did we get the... Do we know the fate of her parents currently? I don't know if we have that info. And who the fuck is this? Have we ever seen this character before? What the hell? Who was that? That's supposed to be like her inner what the hell was that? Look at his leaf afro growing in. She got her blood. Get her off of me. Ah, shit. Oh, bitch. Our only saving grace is that this is on a time limit. It will eventually end. At some point during the day, this will wear off. But what's going to be left of us in the end? I don't know. Sue getting some screen time? Hold on now. Look how creepy they're making the clone face. My god. I want more. I mean, we're not going to get it. Some more Sue backstory and screen time? That'd be nice, but maybe there's nothing there. Maybe it's just a normal childhood. Who's this getting hit now? That creepy ass frog, bro. Is that the clone girl? Oh. Can we... I'm trying to think of like what they could actually do here. Because like I said, it might be asking a lot to expect like Shoto and Endeavor to just pop up, come over here and just start mass fire blasting this bitch to death. Isn't the girl that creates illusions here? Can she not do something to fuck with her head or anything? I don't think she would know what Twice actually looks like, but could you imagine if a real one, a fake one, walked out here in front of her right now? She'd lose her mind. Mm-hmm. Suck. This is how they used to hang out, huh? Just fucking around. Well, too late. Shouldn't she just be floating now for like uncontrollable amount of time? She's trying to talk no jutsu her down, man. Let's see if it works. Not gonna lie, Jin had to be put down, bro. And honestly, if some of these other heroes were okay with putting some of them down, a lot of things would have been avoided. But what can you do? I understand. It's like it depends what you like, you as a viewer, what your personal definition of like a hero is, or what a good guy is. If a good guy and a hero to you loses its title if they ever kill once, no matter the circumstances, then yeah, I get it. Then that's not a hero to you, or a good guy to you, or someone fighting for like the people. If you think they kill, that they lose that credibility and title, fair enough. If that's your opinion on it. But I still think you can be. I still think sometimes decisions have to be made. In Hawk's did what he had to do. Granted, it still happened anyway. Like, this is what Hawks was trying to prevent, but it could have been much worse had this been the actual twice. Much worse. The only good thing is, like, the public doesn't know this, but this will tap out at some point. So what are we hoping, that she just turns this off herself? What's she about to just start, like, touch floating them all out of the way? Eh? She's trying. Shit. She could just drop them from the... Does she have that control? Does she control it after she touches it, or once she touches it, you're just floating? I don't know if there's something she can mentally do to, like, all of a sudden drop you from the sky. This is a lot right now, though. I wonder what Midoriya would do in this situation. I always think about what would, like, a top person do in this situation. Like, what would Prime All Might do right now? Just force air palm punch all of them back in one wave? Honestly, he'd blink on fucking Toga and fucking karate chop her in the back of the neck. Let's be honest here. She wouldn't be able to keep up with the speed if he could identify the real one. I guess Midoriya would do the same. Because, like, how much could you just honestly sit there and spam clearing waves until you yourself would start to become tired? But honestly, even if All Might and Midoriya couldn't identify the real one, I think if they blast spam the waves, like just nuke the waves out of the air with like some strong punches or whatever, you just would start seeing them just disappear. And who's the one still standing up back there? Oh, that's the real one. Would be my guess on how they could identify it. She's trying. So we're really going for Toga's gonna have to do this herself here. Let's see if we can mentally sway her. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, Quark's getting pushed to the edge here. All of it? All of it? Every single one? Holy shit. BFFs? But, like, she can't be, again, like, she didn't have to touch them. What the fuck? I don't know what she just did. Y'all will break it down for me, but that's kind of wild as hell. Every single one? Eh? Why is that happening? Eh? What? Eh? Eh? Yeah? What the hell? Yeah, what? Well, I mean, of course, everyone's going further beyond, but what is happening? Like, we just talked about Dabi getting pushed to the brink and everything, like, she's getting pushed to the brink here. And the Quark is going crazy. I always get so curious with these storylines. of like what world is there, or what can become of Toga in the future, like in a normal, like, civilized society, for the things that she's done. Because Uraraka was making the comments like, I can't forgive the things that you've done, but, you know, I'll give you blood for as long as you need. You know, I'll be there for you. I'll be your friend. Even if Toga accepts that, she's going to be locked up for the rest of her life. No? I mean, for the rest of... if they don't execute her on sight, which they probably won't, but... does she crack? Eh? Nope. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. I still can't get over what she just did with her quirk. She ended up cracking too. Dabi did at the very end as well. Whoa. The weaving in of them being kids has been used very good. Eh? Where's she going with that knife thrust? Oh, okay. Time ran out. Hey, we would have made it. Not bad. We as a viewer and hero don't know that, but we made it. Even if Uraraka didn't go crazy here, we just would have had to hold on for 30 more seconds, maybe a minute or two. I'm so curious, like, because I don't think Toga's dead here. What's the future look like for her? She ever, like, set free? I don't know. Hey, sometimes it just takes one. That's got to be the episode, right? Ooh, it is. I honestly thought like, yes, it's crazy what she did, but I thought one of the better shots was... honestly, this wasn't bad here. Her, like, full rage monster ghoul trying to, like, attack the kid. But I kind of liked the double kid shot of them. That's not a bad shot. Between that and the two kids, that was actually pretty great. So it starts to make me think, like, and none of them have been, there's been, we've yet to see, unless we get, I don't know if we're gonna get All For One's backstory. We've yet to see any of these kind of like League of Villain people be like just purely evil for a reason other than like something happened to them when they were younger, whether it's being shunned and not loved and called a freak because of their abilities, whether it's, go back an episode, being a letdown or failure as a kid with expectations and wanting to please somebody. Whether it's, go back a couple more episodes, being, I don't even know the word, prejudice on you. Essentially, racism on you for your appearance and your type and your kind. Twice, not being able to like, all of them have had their reasons for why. Well, shit, the regular world and the hero world won't accept me, so I'll just find people that will. I'm okay with that, but that still doesn't excuse you then having to do like violent crime / murder and kill. I can understand like society doesn't treat you right, so why would I, look for help in them and like do all these things. Same with Gentle Criminal. Like, everybody's had their switch and turning point, but I also think there's a line of like, I do agree that you should seek like everybody, even in real life, seek somebody, even if it's one person, wherever that may be, whoever that may be. But it doesn't also excuse that like you guys have to become super duper extra baddie villains and like actually do villain shit. I don't give them a pass for that. I'll give them a pass for, you've been had all this against you. Everyone's talked to this shit. You can't find anybody for you. That's why I joined the League of Villains, as they keep saying, But then there's no pass for you doing your murderous things. So they have all that, right? So I'm just curious to see of what I don't know what life these characters can have going forward. Toga for sure, Shigaraki for sure, because now that we've seen it, we saw what's Ninja Turtle boy's name? I forget, but they've had them kind of in succeeding episodes here of him to Dabi to Toga. We saw it with Twice, of like what's gotten them to this point, the reason why they fight, all these things. But we've seen in the end when they're all kind of like pushed to the brink, which I don't know if Ninja Turtle boy is actually dead. But we've seen all of them when they're pushed at the edge of like them remembering like, oh, it could have been this way, or we see them like emotionally like finally like they let go, They hold that grudge, they hold that grudge right to this moment right here. She's holding it. She's committing to the cause, and then at the very end, it just like they let go of the rope. I'm curious if that's going to be the same fate with Shigaraki, because you want to talk about trying to talk somebody down. This man is definitely going to try to do the same thing that she was just able to do. Will it work? I don't know. I think the all for one being mixed with his mind as well is going to make that a little bit difficult. But they've been really hammering on like there's like a pure Shigaraki in there, and I think when all is said and done, actual Shigaraki is going to come out on top of that mind body meld that they got going on. And I truly think Shigaraki will be in control of whatever this, like it's not going to be a fusion of them. It's going to be Shigaraki comes out on top of that. So when that does happen, will Midoriya be able to power of friendship him down? Because we've even seen with him, like him cracking and thinking back to a kid and, his dog and his parents and his family and his house and like what got him to this point. But I say all that to say, what future is there for Toga and for Shigaraki if they do decide I've been doing wrong, I didn't have to go this path, and they finally like concede, they turn themselves in. Midoriya is super happy, maybe feels like he found a new friend. She over here feels like she found a BFF. Do we all agree that like they can never, regardless of like what you've now given up or what you've apologized for, they can't be ever set free, right? We agree or no? Like, spoilers if you haven't seen Naruto, we don't give them the Orochimaru treatment and freedom, right? Like, I guess you could say, well, maybe they could be just like, you don't have to put them in jail or lock them up, but they could just be in like a supervised maybe house or area or neighborhood. I just don't. I don't know. But it's going to be hard though when you've got like the number one man himself vouching, and one of like the, I guess maybe she is a top hero at this point. Some of the kids vouching like, no, they're going to be fine. They can go free. Can they though? I don't know. I'm just trying to think of how because we still don't know if Shigaraki ends up dying at the end of all this, but we know Toga doesn't. Like, she's alive here. I'm assuming she's going to be alive, and Uraraka isn't going to kill her. I don't think the time limit or anything that we don't know as a viewer, her quirk running out, is going to cause her to die. So what future is there for her? From like a logical societal standpoint, like she never gets out of like lockup, right? I don't know. But interested to see that Uraraka was really able to get in there. But we had already seen that like Toga, there were some, you could get in there. We've seen how much, you know, she's already shown to have affection towards Uraraka, towards Midoriya. We even talked about Sue, her friends. We've seen her emotions with Twice and all of it. So we knew that there was a path in there to reach her. Just the same way I feel like there's a path to reach Shigaraki. Now, will the story go that way? I'm curious to see. So we have one episode left this season. Do we think the entire episode next for the season finale is going to be the All for One, All Might showdown? The last, what is this? This will be the third edition. First time All Might got severely injured, and that's what caused him to essentially not be able to really be All Might anymore. I mean, he's eventually going to run out and die and have to pass it on eventually, but a lot quicker than he was planning. The first fight, All Might got fucked up here. All for One loses the top of his face. Second fight, All Might burns every single last reserve of his juice, and All for One is captured. Third fight, All Might possesses no abilities other than anything that like tech or mech or science can give him. And this man is juiced out of his mind. So I'm curious to see what the third version. The first version, they both ended up injured. The second version, one ended up captured, and one ended up no longer being able to possess any abilities. And the third version is what? I'm kind of really scratching my head to see what All Might's actually going to be able to do in that metal suit. But maybe they'll shock the world and give us something crazy. So I'm curious if that's going to be, you know, how this was just straight Toga Uraraka this whole episode. I'm curious if we get that all next episode. I kind of wouldn't mind that for a season ending. I'm trying to think that maybe they'll kind of ping pong back and forth between like All Might fighting and then Midoriya talking to Shigaraki or fighting a little bit, and they'll ping pong back and forth. And then the All Might fight will still open up the next season. But I kind of wouldn't mind if they gave us the entire episode of that, save 2 minutes to like peek back to Midoriya and Shigaraki, leave that on a cliffhanger, and just end the season. Ideally. Because that is it, right? Every single other big threat and big fight has been handled, correct? I'm pretty sure we got all the heteromorphic types. We got all that situated. Endeavor was dealing with All for One, but he took off. And then it turned it into a Dobby situation, which was handled. So we got the heteromorphics. We got the Dobby situation done. We got the Toga with multiplying and doing everything with twice as boom, pop, pop, done. I think there's only 2 fighting fronts left, right? No, there might be other small little fight, but we don't really care about any of that as a viewer. It's just the 2 left. It's the main Shigaraki, main Midoriya battle, and then you have the sub battle with the All Might and All for One. I think that's it. So I wouldn't mind we wrap up that little sub battle, and then the entire next season is these 2 throwing hands. And we'll talk about the season wrap up, and is this going to be the last season for season 8, and how many episodes when, yada yada, blah blah blah. Because I know the manga just ended like last month, no? September, August, something like that. But we'll see. One more episode for this season. We'll see how it goes. Appreciate it, everybody. Like, share, favorite, subscribe, and as always,